Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Women's Empower Network. I am so excited to have Aga here with us from Ireland. And welcome, Aga.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited as well. Like, this is such an incredible opportunity. And yeah, I can't wait.
Me neither, and I can't wait to hear your story. If you would share that with us, and a little bit about your journey that led you to what you are excited about today.
Yes. Oh, I actually, Uh, I actually felt a little emotional as I was going through, my story, and I'm like, what, you just want to kind of be quick and sharp and kind of like interesting at the same time. And I thought, oh my God, every single person has, I'm pretty sure, has such an incredible story that when we look back, it's so many things to celebrate, and everyone has little and big accomplishments. So I just want to say to everyone, let's not forget about that. A few words about me. So my name is Aga. I live in Ireland since 2006. I'm originally from Poland. I have, I am a mom of two amazing daughters. I'm a happy wife. I'm a happy dog owner. I always have to mention him because he's a huge part of my life as well. And um, and I suppose my journey is a little bit rocky, but at the same time, when I look back, I just feel so grateful. And one of those things when you're in it, you think like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. But when you look back, you feel wow, it's actually amazing that I've gone through that and that built me into the person that I am. So, just quickly about myself, I was raised in a very destructive family. Loads of abuse, loads of confusion, alcohol addictions, and everything. So I didn't really have anyone to support me, to give me, to be there for me. Um, I grew up in this person that I was a people pleaser. I used to seek validation. I had no self-esteem whatsoever and no confidence at all. But one thing, because I still was successful, believe me or not, I was climbing the career ladder. I was one of the big four corporations for years. So I asked myself at some point of my career, why was that? If the mindset wasn't there, so what was there? And I realized I had these big dreams. I had a dream that was bigger than my fears, that was bigger than my, lack of confidence and everything. So, although I didn't really believe myself, but I believed in that dream and I was so courageous and so curious like a child. I just really wanted to know, what if there is the other side of the story? I want to know, how is it? So, I really believe that we all have our guides by our side, and you can tell by the back of my of my of my wall that I believe in angels and divine guidance, and I just believe we all are supported. So, um, this kind of led me to another part of my life where I was an adult, and we all seek our career path and different things. But I've requalified myself three times. And the third time, when I said to my husband, I'm not happy, I thought it's not about the job, it's about me. And I realized that I deeply seeked my own fulfillment so much that I just couldn't settle for a big job, for a big corporation. It was amazing, and I really had an amazing time. But I think kind of like a turning point, and I'm sure maybe for many people that watch me, and I hope that will help. The turning point is to look into the mirror and think about the fact how many years you have put into this. How much time and effort and money I've put into the finance qualifications. And I really love this. So I was climbing this career ladder, and I was climbing this happiness from outside. And when I got there, I realized I'm not happy. And I felt horrible, amazing family. We just moved into our new house, two cars. Like, from the outside, you may think, like, girl, what's wrong with you? And so this kind of led me to thinking, like, who am I? like, who am I? Because I thought I'm my job. I thought I'm all of these things that I'm achieving, but that was really like was emptiness really at the end of the day. So I was seeking something that was really an illusion because I was really truly seeking myself in this. And I remember back in 2000 and I don't remember what was maybe 2013. I grabbed a book of one of the people that changed my life. He was our beloved, I'm sure you guys know, Bob Proctor, and I
Yeah.
and I read his book, You Were Born Rich, and I will never forget that. I read this book like within like a couple of days, and I started texting everyone, like literally everyone. Look, you have to do this and you have to do that. I was magnetized. I had no idea at the time what really am I reading, but that really struck my dream. And I think what that book gave me was faith. Yes, there is the other side of it. So since then, I just think there was like lots of coincidences which are not existing. We know there's no coincidences, but I'm just this whole thing led me the way I was raised, the emotional state that I was in, I struggled with life. I struggled with anxiety. I didn't sleep well. I had nightmares, and I still had to get up there because, I thought the world is expecting me to do. I never could, for years, I could never look in the mirror and just acknowledge this is the way I feel. So it made me worse and worse. And then in the career again, I had amazing jobs and I was never happy. And I'm a happy person. Like this is not just put guys for this interview. I'm really this type of person and I got to that frustration point when I'm not happy. So what is it? And I blamed the world for my happiness. So I would be changing jobs because that was the job, because that was the boss, because there was another thing. But it was really me and not in a way that it was my fault, but I had to take responsibility. And I suppose all of this, my career path, emotional state, getting to know myself, acknowledging, transforming emotional state, kind of like building that resilience in life. And that led me to where I am right now. So I qualified myself as a coach years ago. I accredited myself. When I started this coaching journey, I didn't want just to be a coach. I wanted to understand this. I was probably one of these nerds in school that we were asking questions. I just really wanted to know all of those different tools. But within the years of experience, of course, I developed something truly like even deeper, like healing, um, intuitive guidance. I realized that there's more to me than just asking questions, that I really connect with people and I really have something, there's like that energy that creates this dream. And I think because I'm a big dreamer and I am this visionary, but at the same time, I learned that if you are somewhere that you don't want to be and if you really feel lost and overwhelmed, like no one can sell you the big vision, you're gonna just stop. You're gonna be like, you know what, right. Maybe it happened for you. So I have big visions and I have these amazing goals, but at the same time I want to take it step by step and break down things for people so they get creative and we get creative. Yeah, so I
It's,
don't know if I talked for like too long now, but this is
no,
really
no, no, this is perfect. It is perfect because you're still telling the story of every woman, and it's not our fault. We all, our parents' generation were doing the best they could, with what was happening in the world at that time. And we weren't satisfied with that. And we were taught to get validation from the outside world. And that's exactly what we all did, from our jobs to the way we dressed to who we were a partner with, the house we lived in. You tell the story of every person out there. So to really stop and say, well, maybe it's not the outside world. Maybe I'm missing something. So what was like the turning point? What was like the, if there was a moment or a sequence of experiences that finally made you look the other direction and look inward?
Yeah. So this is something that I don't recommend. I am a Capricorn, so I am a stubborn person. When I set my sight on something, I'm gonna get there. So this could be my positive thing, but it could be a flaw as well. But I I got to the point where I was really burnt out, and I think if I knew that I have to change, at that point I didn't have any choice. I felt so burnt out and so not I'm not gonna say depressed, but I just so lost and just like that's I didn't feel this sense of who am I really? And I knew I have to change. So I started changing small little steps. Um, the job I was in, it was also 2 hours driving one way, so 4 hours driving only traveling. So that kind of added to my stress. We moved into our new house, which was very far away to where we used to live. So that turning point that probably added as well, the lifestyle. And sometimes I'm thinking people have no choice sometimes. It looks like we have no choice, right? That we have
Right.
to put up with the reality, but we always have a choice. And for me, turning point was fate because I believed I worked in the capital of Ireland. And, you know, I thought, my God, I moved to the village outside of the city. And I think, oh my God, like I'm not going to be able to earn as much money. I'm not going to be able to provide. The bills are there. You know what I mean? But my turning point was, you know what? If I don't have peace, I have nothing. And I had nothing at the time. So when I kind of led it to the fate, I got pretty amazing job as well nearby my house. I was really surprised. And the most funny and surprising thing was that the lady who was like recruitment agency, she had a little agency on the back of her garden, and for the prior to that event, like 3 or 4 months, I was passing her every day. She was walking a dog when I was going to the job that I hated. So, the world is, guys, the world is small. You never know. I was just passing the woman who helped me with the job opportunity. And then from that point, I got an amazing job opportunity. I worked for years with one of Bob Proctor's top consultants. And so I was guiding clients throughout Bob's programs. And of course, I was raising into my own power. But that turning point, I think that was a middle point. Sometimes we think that if we don't jump from A to Z, it's not worth it, or we're not gonna take risks. But sometimes that middle point is that risk that we have to take in order to gain that fade. Because for me, it was like, oh, it was just like almost literally next door, and I kept saying to myself for months, "Oh no, I'm not gonna find like as decent job as that one, and I can't." But yeah, I think, and I don't recommend that, of course, because we do have signs. Our body is going to, we do have signs. We know something is off. Don't let to the point when you are forced to make changes, because
Yeah.
when we get to that point, we may be under a little bit of pressure, and that never helps. So, just, yeah.
Well, and I've heard that story 100 times where, people they were in a job that they hated, and they were forced to quit because they got really sick. Um,
Yes.
and so that's a really important point. So it sounded like that you had this inner faith and you had this calling, and it sounds like you started listening to or reading about Bob Proctor. How did you find him? How did he come into your life?
I think I had issues with my health, and at that time I realized I have a book called Secret at Home, which I think my mom bought me, which was really weird as well because my mom was never into personal development, but the book was there somehow. So everything happens for a reason.
Right?
And out of the whole book, only this guy stood up for me. I knew I have to search, and I think I searched for Bob Proctor on the internet, and at the time I downloaded that book You Were Born Rich, and that's how it all kind of led me to, that universal algorithm. I think we pay attention to Facebook's algorithm and everything, but there is universal power with their own algorithm, and that algorithm is our thinking. I focus on this. I focus so much on Bob Proctor, and I thought and in fact, back in 2020. I flew to LA for the Paradigm Shift Life event, and I had the privilege to shake his hand, to record a video with him. So, like, it was an amazing. Who would tell, like, 15 years ago, that I'm gonna be with the actual guy backstage talking to him? Yeah, that was amazing. And since I had other mentors like Joe Vitale and Joe Dispenza, and I dived deeper into more like a healing, because I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I suffered from anxiety from majority of my life. So it's not just the thinking pattern. I wanted to know, how can I heal myself from feeling certain way? Because and it's so important and so inspiring that you know no one told me years ago that it's not just my thinking. It starts from the thoughts, but we get addicted to feelings. So if someone has been feeling certain way for a while, it's not just changing, it's not just, of course, making decision and everything, but it's nearly an addiction. The body is seeking that feeling, which means we are manifesting things to make us feel the same way.
Yeah.
So I wanted to understand deeper everything, and I fell in love in healing. I qualify myself as a Reiki healer as well, tapping practitioner. So I combine all of those things now. I combine thoughts pattern with emotional healing, and of course the true self and our soul. I want to align this all for clients so they can feel alive.
It I love your message and I love what you're saying. And it's really important that that our subconscious, we get in these automatic patterns and loops, and it's not right, but it's kind of like, I remember years ago thinking, okay, I can't heal the problem with the mind that thought it. I have to think outside the box. It's like, well, how the flip do you think outside the box? I'm stuck in the box. And it becomes this vicious cycle. But
Yes,
once you pierce through that, and the other thing is, we seem to suffer alone, don't we? We spend way too much suffering by ourselves instead of asking for help. And that's what's so beautiful
totally.
about what you do and thousands of other people do, is you've walked the path, you walk the journey, you know what it's like. So you're such a gift and an asset to somebody who's really sick and tired of being sick and tired and really ready to make a change. So what's the name of your practice, your business?
So with all my experience and my inspiration and kind of like understanding that, you can either focus on your problems and where you are not, and kind of like your conditioning, or you can focus on something that is going to raise your energy and is always dreams. I have few quotes actually. I love the quote of Einstein, that you can either believe in something, that something is possible, or that something is impossible. Like, if the life is magical, or if the life is not magical, like either way we are right, and whatever we focus on. So going from this, I had visions, and this name has been chasing me for the past 3 years probably, and it was Inspire Within. Because I believed that I was inspired within. I believe that my mind always wants to sabotage. It projects, it memorizes and does its own thing. But if I'm inspired from within, which in my kind of wording, is from my heart, like nothing is impossible. No dream is impossible. I just need to have that step-by-step guidance, and kind of maybe break and have that bridge that someone will take me from A to B. And that's all I need. So the practice is called Inspire Within Academy. I have a huge dream about the academy. I want to be something more than just a coach, just a mentor and healer. I want to collaborate with other amazing people. I want to invite them to academy. Probably this year will will kind of happen, because I was very focused on building my coaching practice and my programs and everything. So that was kind of my focus. But yeah, so this academy supposed to give inspiration from within. And this is my own practice. I teach people creativity. Every tool I choose, I want that to be creative, because mind loves creativity. And we don't think like we're changing. Once the mind thinks, oh, something is changing, it wants to stop. It doesn't want to go somewhere else. It wants to be in the known. But the honestly, as Joe Dispenza says, the biggest opportunities and our dreams are in the unknown. But that takes risk of being fearful a little bit, but understanding the fear and knowing, oh, that's fine. That's my friend. That's my buddy. It's gonna be there. Like, we are not robots. We always we will feel different emotions, right? And I feel, as you said, sometimes people are ashamed, or they're ashamed that they're angry. But like, why wouldn't you be? Why would you be ashamed that you're angry? Being angry or sad or disappointed, that's just normal state that we will feel. I just believe that it's not fair to us to choose to stay in that to be longer. So it's good to find a tool, or it's good to find something that really makes me feel transforming and kind of getting out of that. But there's this quote that you can't heal it whatever you don't feel it. So you
Yeah.
have to feel in order to heal. So, yeah, but it's Inspire Within. That's the name of my kind of like coaching. And this is like this umbrella. I wrote a book, Lost Island. I have my own journals. I This academy is kind of going into its own life as well, and of course my amazing clients. So I just feel, I always felt bigger mission, and I know this is just the beginning. So I just hope to give that faith to others. This is just a beginning. It doesn't matter which state you are. It's just the beginning, because it's always a cycle, like in economy, right? There's boom, there's recession, there's boom again. So we have to kind of like fall in love with the journey, because it's going to be like that.
That's beautiful. Well, just to let everybody know, we're going to be sure to put your contact information above this interview so that they can get a hold of you and get in touch with you if you do like a free consultation.
Yes, I do breakthrough. It's 30 minutes breakthrough call. So if I inspired you in any way, if you feel curious, just yes, just I invite you to a free consultation, and we'll see if we're a good fit, if the energy is right, and how can I help you? That's the most important. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Well, I'm so excited to get to know you. And are there any part of wisdom that you want to share with us today before we go?
I think just trust the process. And looking at my own journey, of course, everyone's journey is different, everyone's journey is unique. But I think we can either choose our life and our past to keep defining us, or we can choose to build that experience, to help us build throughout that experience. And we choose to define our future, define our reality with inner creation. But I also wanted to give everyone, if there's anyone sad or disappointed, or if there is anyone that is overwhelmed, or just kind of doesn't see that light in a tunnel, I really believe that if I haven't gone through all that all that game with the universe, if I haven't experienced everything that I had to, I don't think I would be I don't think I would be able to have that wisdom within myself. It just speaks. When we experience something, it's different than a book. It's different than like doing set of qualifications. Yeah, like your mission is going to speak to and through you. And that's, I think, it's necessary to understand throughout the lessons we understand. So yeah, just look at life from the right perspective, right? Because there's always there is, the law of opposites. So there's always good and bad. And how do we know what's good if we don't know what's bad? So,
Right?
and like, yeah. So that's my word of wisdom, but also smile and laugh. I think I developed sometimes I developed this ability to laugh and cry at the same time. And I'm like, oh, I'm in this deep hole again. How can I get out?
That isn't that, but that's what wisdom is. It's like,
Yes,
oh, this is familiar, but I know it's going to pass and something beautiful is going to come out of it.
yes,
And
yes. And
and
it
the problem,
always,
and not to do it alone. I mean, I can't stress that enough to women out there. You don't need to suffer alone. There are answers, there are people, and if you resonate with Aga, connect with her, talk to her. You just never know where it'll take you. So thank you so much for being here today with us.
thank you so much, Jeannie. Thank you all for watching us. And I really hope I inspired you. So thank you.
Thank you.